Hey family, it's Barbara with NurseToNature. So today, while I'm showing you how to make this quilt, I'm also going to give you a little bit of a story time. So there was a time in my life when everything felt completely unraveled. I was going through a really difficult season and I honestly didn't have a place to go. But a wonderful lady opened her doors and allowed me to stay with her until I could figure out a more permanent living situation. She gave me a safe place to rest and rebuild when I needed it the most. A few years later, I wanted to find a way to truly say thank you. To me, the ultimate way to show gratitude is to give someone your time, to make something with your own hands. Now, I actually taught myself how to sew, but a group of wonderful ladies at a church I used to attend taught me how to quilt. Those women are absolute experts who create incredibly complex patterns, but my brain just does not work like that. I needed things to be straightforward and functional. That's exactly why I came up with this super simple, beginner-friendly method. For a long time, it felt like we were losing the art of handmade things. When I was in high school, we had things like 4-H where we learned how to sew and cook, but those traditions started to fade. Lately, I've been noticing something so beautiful. This upcoming generation is craving that connection again. There is an incredible movement of families wanting to get back to their roots, step away from the mass-produced stuff, and learn how to live a simpler, healthier life. And that is what this channel is all about. Finding simple, practical tips to help your family live a more intentional, non-toxic life without losing the things that we love. Whether it's figuring out how to make your own face masks, finding ways to still have those luxury smell good things without the chemicals, or tackling do-it-yourself projects on a budget, like when I completely revamped my shed for just $120. It's all about realizing you can do this yourself. When you start making things from scratch, whether that's a baby quilt or figuring out how to make non-toxic swaps for your home, you start to realize how capable you really are. It completely shifts your mindset. You go from feeling overwhelmed by everything out there to feeling empowered to create a home environment that truly serves your family. Quilting doesn't have to be intimidating. It is really just taking separate, ordinary pieces of fabric and stitching them together into something beautiful, strong, and comforting. In a lot of ways, it's exactly what this sweet lady did for me when she allowed me to stay with her until I could figure out a more permanent living situation. There's also something incredibly grounding about sitting down at a sewing machine. In a world where everything is moving so fast, taking the time to physically make something forces you to slow down. You hear the hum of the machine, you feel the texture of the fabric, and you just get to be present. And the best part about this simple method is that it doesn't require perfection. It's just straight stitching and a whole lot of grace. When you hold a handmade blanket, you can almost feel the presence of all the women who came before us, sitting in their circles, sharing stories, and pouring their hearts into every single stitch. For generations, this was how women took care of their communities and wrapped their families in protection. Carrying on that legacy today feels like keeping a beautiful fire burning. It is an honor to take a skill that was given to me by those wonderful ladies at the church and use it to welcome a brand new little soul into the world. It reminds me that none of us are truly doing this alone. We are all just holding on to the threads of the people who loved us and passing them forward to the next generation. I love thinking about how this quilt is going to change over the years. Right now, it's crisp and clean, ready to welcome a newborn home from the hospital. But eventually, it's going to get dragged around the house, built into living room forts, and covered in stains from everyday life. It will become that familiar comfort object that this child reaches for whenever they are tired, sick, or just need to feel safe. Every wash is going to make the fabric a little softer, and every crease will hold a memory of their childhood. We often look at quilts as just bedding, but to a child, a handmade blanket is a constant anchor of safety in a big, overwhelming world. It is a beautiful reminder of how quickly these seasons of life pass us by. It feels like you blink and they go from being wrapped up tiny in your arms to running around and creating their own adventures. In the busyness of everyday life and all the chores that come with running a home, it is so easy to lose sight of how precious these fleeting moments really are. That is why taking the time to slow down and create something like this is so therapeutic for the soul. It forces us to pause, breathe, and put our focus entirely on love, family, and the beautiful new beginnings that a fresh little life brings into our world. When I first started filming this tutorial, my plan was just to make a generic gender-neutral baby blanket, just to show you guys how to do it. I had the quilt panel pretty much completely done using a beautiful fabric that had Bible verses on it. But right around that time, my dear friend was having a baby, and I completely switched gears to fit her needs. Because the panel was already made, I was able to easily add 4 little butterfly embellishments. This sweet mama was incredibly close to her grandma, and anytime she sees butterflies, butterflies, it completely reminds her of her grandma. So I added one butterfly for my friend and one for each of her 3 girls. It serves as a beautiful reminder that her grandma's love is still so present, flowing right through other people straight to her. I truly wanted this sweet baby to feel completely wrapped in that legacy of love. When I was adding these butterflies, it made me think about all the late nights this quilt is going to see. It's going to be there for the 2 a.m. feedings, the fussy evenings, and the quiet moments rocking in that chair. A baby blanket isn't just a piece of fabric. It becomes a physical reminder in the middle of the night that a mother and her baby are supported and loved by their village. Every time I make a quilt, I pray over it. I genuinely believe that when you pour love, prayers, and intention into something you are creating with your own hands, that care is woven right into the fabric. This is exactly why I love this method. You can pre-make these quilt panels ahead of time for a boy or a girl and keep them on hand. Then when somebody gives birth, you can take that personalization route. You can order a custom embroidered baby blanket off of Etsy to use as your backing, like I did to add the baby's name. And then you can just slap it right onto the panel. It makes the process so fast, but it adds so much love. You can even order custom photo panels off of Etsy to make it part of the quilt, which is exactly how I made a special keepsake quilt for each of my own 2 kids. Because this project is made to welcome a brand new little life, it reminds me of a beautiful verse from scripture in Psalm 127:3, which tells us that children are a heritage from the Lord. Along with that verse, I'd also like to share a few bits of wisdom that I've hung on to throughout the years. I just like to drop bits of wisdom in my videos because I think it can really help us figure things out a little bit quicker. One of my absolute favorites is the reminder that kids borrow regulation before they learn it. It shows us how much comfort and safety we as parents provide just by being there. Another beautiful truth is that your motherhood will outlive you, but it will live in your child forever. And finally, never forget that it only takes one courageous parent to create new generational patterns. As you watch these easy steps come together, I hope it inspires you to pick up a craft, reclaim a piece of our roots, or pass a little warmth along to someone who once stood in the gap for you. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join our family here and catch all of our simple lifestyle tips. Thank you so much for watching. It truly means the world to me, and I'll see you on the next one.